Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. We got some more second channel stuff. Yeah, we're gonna do some air conditioning. I asked about it, you guys said, yeah, show us air conditioning. So we got the old Tow Pig 1997 Ford Expedition with 273.5 thousand miles on it. We pull our 2008 H&H 20-foot tilt bed MX speed loader trailer with it. It was 98 degrees yesterday and the AC wasn't keeping up, so we're gonna give her just a little boost. I'm gonna show you how I can properly charge air conditioning units because I don't know what I'm doing. So we got a keg of R134 Freon. It should have been 30 pounds. It's less now because we used it. We did Mickelson's the other day. We done a couple of my pickups. Did one for chin. We tried another one for chin. We got a set of gauges. Usually I have a scale, and if you pull a vacuum on it and you make sure there's nothing in there, then you should know what your vehicle takes. Like Mickelson's 2011 F350. It says right on here. Let's see it. His F350 took 29 ounces because it's a diesel. I think gassers take more. Let's see what this thing says here. Air conditioner R134, total system maximum operating range. 2 pounds, 5 ounces without rear AC. We have rear AC. So 3 pounds, 10 ounces. Son of a biscuit. And so you would pull a vacuum, you hook up the scale, and then you add however much Freon you need. And you use that scale to tell how much you need. But since ours already has somewhat of a charge, we're just gonna give her a little boost. I'll show you how to hook up the gauges. So you got your red is your high side, your blue is your low side. These are the valves that turn them on and off. And then your yellow, you either hook up to your vacuum or up to your keg. So you take this fancy little hook and you go, and then you take and you find your high and your low side caps. This one here is probably gonna be our low side. They only go one way. Like that's the small one. That's the big one. That's the high side. So that goes up to our, oh, there we go. It's cold, so it's got a little charge. That goes up to the condenser. So your condenser, up front by your radiator, you got your, these are your main components. You got your, what do they call that? Evaporator inside the car. And then of course you get your blower motor blowing air out over it. And then you got your compressor down there on the engine, which is driven by the belt. And that's got a clutch that drives that. It runs off the belt, obviously. And there's a dryer, which is basically like your filter, I guess, is what I would call it. So those are kind of your main parts. Usually it's your compressor that goes bad or your wiring, but sometimes one of your lines or your condenser will get a hole in it, and sometimes your evaporator will get a hole too. Then you got to replace those parts, or it could be any of the seals. And then there's a high pressure switch and a low pressure switch. Usually just a low pressure switch. Some systems have both. Some will have a binary switch, so it's a high and a low switch. And basically what those switches do is if it's too high of a pressure, it kicks that clutch off, so your compressor stops running. Or if it's too low, it won't run your compressor because it'll burn your compressor out because there's not enough Freon in there. So yeah, sometimes it could be those that's bad. So those are basically your main parts. There's somebody who could talk about this stuff way more than me and is way more educated than me. So go watch those guys or gals. So now we need to find out where a low side is. And Ford would put it somewhere. There's your high pressure switch. So where is our low pressure? You can see where it tees off and go, this goes to the rear AC, I would imagine. So this thing's got 2 condensers, no evaporators. Where is the low pressure side? It's got to be on that line somewhere. Well, stay tuned while I look for this.
A few moments later.
All right, thanks to justanswer.com. There it is down there on top of the, what is that, the dryer? Receiver dryer? I don't know. Needless to say, it's in a super frickin' optimal location right here. And of course the cap is black, you know, don't make it blue. Son of a biscuit, and it's on so tight. So these caps thread on, and these fittings just are a quick coupler. The old style, the R12, they thread on like so. Well, you can't show it, but it's thread on like that. I just got adapters on here to go to 134 because, you know, R12, that's way too cool for school here. Here, let me just hit the camera a couple more times with that hose. I think we got it latched. Final answer. Now, typically you would pull a vacuum on the system using this vacuum pump, which is run off of compressed air. Riddle me that, Batman, how you can make a vacuum with pressure. But my air hose won't reach, you know, new big shop problems. So we're not gonna do that right meow, because I'm too lazy to go grab a different hose or to steer the vehicle over and duffel up. I guess is obviously no help. So we're just going straight to the keg. So you make sure you got all these closed and the hood doesn't fall on your face. You never wanna go full retard, kids.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Yeah, you can say it because it's on that gauge. So then we grab our keg here, and you want your keg upside down when it's all said and done. So we're gonna start with it up. Start with it up because it's easier to hook up the connector. See, this is the style of connector that the old 134 is. So, the old 134, the old R12. Are you going to the mall later?
Are you going to the mall later? That's what I'm asking.
No, I am not going to the mall.
So we're gonna take this tank and we're gonna turn it upside down. That way you get the good stuff.
Get the good stuff!
You You get the liquid form instead of the gas. And then we crack this valve down here. You hear it going in there? Okay. Now we're gonna go start the vehicle, and we got both these closed yet. Don't twist on them too hard because the hood will fall down on my face. So Duff, you wanna go inside and start the vehicle? Crank the AC all the way up? You'll feel much better after you do if we get it working. Okay, thanks a lot, pal. Okay, we got this crap box running, so for reference, I got my Tech City Laser Grip 1080 infrared thermometer. We're gonna shoot this on the vent and see what we got for a baseline temperature. 84.7 degrees, and that's with the AC jamming out. And if you know what you're doing, you can read these gauges, and if you know anything about us, I don't know what I'm doing. So I put marks on here, and you want them to be at those marks, but I don't know how you get to those marks. So let's turn them on. And we got this hooked up, so it's gonna pull some fluid out. You should be able to see it. You just want it to come on, you just want to open the low side, it's gonna suck it in. If you can open the high side, it's gonna have more pressure than is in that keg, and you're not gonna pull fluid out. And we should be able to see fluid going in there, freon, whatever you want to call it. So there we go. See the high pressure going up? Hear the compressor kick on? Probably not, because it didn't just kick on, I don't think. Oh yeah, we don't have that valve open, so we're not gonna see. Why is it fluctuating? I don't know. Literally have no idea what I'm doing, but I opened that for a little bit. Now I close these. We saw some freon go in there, hopefully. Where's our thermometer? Got it, got it. You could run this. You don't need a thumb to do it, just a trigger finger. Definitely not colder. Well, we're down to 82.5, so I mean, we got that going for us. So you got her on max AC, cold, high. I don't know what to do here. We open this again. See, nothing's going in there now. I think we might have to put a vacuum on it. I don't know. This is why you go to a professional or you get one of them fancy machines, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Somebody could come show us sometime. I'm sure everybody's gonna comment down below with what we're doing around here, but this is why I don't put videos like this on the main channel, because I have pretty much no idea what I'm doing. You can hear the compressor kick on and off, and so your belt's always turning, so the outside of your compressor is always turning, and then there's a clutch in the middle. That's what you want to watch. You can tell if that clutch is kicking on and off. You can see our clutch kicking on and off, cycling real fast. So apparently there's a pressure, either low or high side, that's not quite where it needs to be, so it's like on, off, on, off, on, off. So what you could do is you could bypass, well, this is the high side, it's probably not too high. I'm guessing it's too low. So if we turn this off and then we close those, we'll see what happens. Let's try turning this on once. Doesn't do nothing. Our low side seems really high and our high side seems low, but I don't know what that means. There we go. I don't know what the compressor's doing now. They're kicked on. Now our compressor's not working. We might have to get unlazy and hook a vacuum up to it so that it'll pull more freon into it. Yes, that's what we're gonna try. All right. We're in here, into the mess, scoot it over real close to the vacuum. We're gonna close everything off. The compressor is doing, it's just going clicking on and off. The clutch is kicking on and off. We're gonna hook up the vacuum. Try to use a vacuum to pull more refrigerant in. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, tank is off. Crack this line. We're gonna get a little bit of freon. Don't worry, Greta.
How dare you?
It's fine. It's 134. You can drink this stuff. We take and we hook up our little pumpy pump here, and we hook up our air line, and we pull a vacuum. So this thing's real loud, I can't do nothing about it other than unhook it. So we're gonna open the low pressure side, and we're gonna pull a vacuum. I think we gotta pull a vacuum on both sides. Maybe? No, maybe just on the low side. I don't know. I really no idea what I'm doing. See, we're pulling a vacuum. 0 is pressure, or that's blue is pressure, and then below is vacuum. So we got like, what is it, 26 is all the higher you can go, or 30 inches of mercury. Maybe we got a massive leak. Who knows? So we got her up to 30 inches of mercury. Now we're gonna close this. We're gonna unplug this. And then we're gonna hook this back up to the other side and you tighten it up, and then you would leave it sit for a while and see if it holds a vacuum. Well, actually you would open this side, right? Oh no, never mind, that was dumb. We gotta hook this up so it doesn't leak by that. So we got that sealed off. If we crack both of these, yeah, it's not holding a vacuum. So does that mean we got a leak? Probably. Well, where's the frickin' leak at? I don't know. Just worked the other day. Mickelson was using it, it worked. Let's try putting a vacuum in it again. Son of a biscuit. I don't understand nothing about this. Nothing at all. Vacuums, pressures, fluids, gases, liquids, electrical.
2 hours later.
So we're gonna unhook the compressor. We still got her on a vacuum. We're gonna hook this up to the keg. We'll tip our keg upside down to get the gas, liquid.
1 eternity later.
All right, adapt and overcome. I think we got it figured out. So I took and I bypassed the high pressure switch with a little piece of wire like that. that piece of wire. And the compressor is still kicking on and off, on and off, on and off. And I bypassed the low pressure switch and it stayed on the whole time, but it didn't get any colder inside. And then I started playing around and I shut the engine off and I could hear a leak. And you know how when you shut something off, you hear like that little hiss for a couple seconds? Well, this didn't quit for a while. So I was feeling around down by that connector that, you know, that I really had trouble putting on the low pressure side. Sure enough, that thing wasn't connected. So now we're gonna unhook it from the keg here, hook up a vacuum, see if we can't pull a vacuum better this time. And I think I just didn't have the connector hooked up on the low pressure side at all, or well enough. I don't know what happened. We had things going on. We're not experts, but I think we figured it out. So we're gonna hook that up to our vacuum thinger mobobber here, and things are gonna get loud. Because I knew I didn't have that big of a leak. It was just working. We're gonna open these kids up. Maybe we're just gonna let it run for a while. See if we can get a vacuum on it. It's a big system, right? It's going down real slow. All right, we got her down to 26 inches of mercury. It's about as low as she's gonna go. Took a while because it's such a big system. So we're gonna turn both of these off. One-handed YouTube life. We're gonna unhook this. It's gonna quiet down a little bit. This compressor is so loud at this place. I tell you, I got a new shop. You're on the second channel, so you already know I got a new shop. And we're gonna hook this to the back of here, and then we're gonna leave it sit for a while and see if we got vacuum when we return. So this is now where you go have a sandwich. Don't slam a hood in your face. And if after you have a sandwich, it's still holding a vacuum, then it means your system doesn't have very big of a leak. Maybe. So, sandwich time. So I forgot to state that while you're checking your vacuum on your system, or for leaks, you want to have both these valves open so that the whole system is, you're checking everything. So now we come back several sandwiches later, still holding a good vacuum. So we got it hooked up to our keg open. We had these closed while we had that yellow line out. Now we're gonna open everything again, and it should stay having a vacuum because it's such a big freaking system. Still holding the vacuum. Now, we still got that low pressure switch bypassed, just for now. Sometimes you got to do that because there's no pressure in the system. Fire the old 5.4 liters of Triton amazingness up. You know, the spark plug ejectomatic. Oh. Ejectocito, cut! Look at that distinguished gentleman. Just ready for a ride. Got a little lightning going on there to the south. No, definitely not a Ford Lightning.
Oh, Baxter, you are my little gentleman.
Slingshot engage.
Slingshot engage.
Our AC cranked. We want to have this side closed. Dang it, we screwed up again. And we open the vacuum side. Now we see if is our clutch kicking on? No, it's because our low pressure switch. There we go. Now she's a whirling. Okay, pressure's running. What are our gauges doing? Not much of anything. Why is it still showing a vacuum? I don't get that. I don't get it. Don't get it. Is this on? Should be. Oh, there. Now I turn the Freon on. There we go. You can see all that amazing gas of Freon jumping up in there. Just so we don't overcharge it, I think I'm gonna close her off here. Feel this line getting real cold. Check to make sure our compressor's still running. It sounds like it is, but I can't hear nothing. Oh yeah, Duff, you should be in here sniffing the vents. Still not cold yet. This is where you wanna have the scale on there so you know just how much Freon you put in there. We have no idea what we're doing here. It's still pulling Freon though. You can see our pressure slowly coming up. Once it hits that line, that's where we'll quit there. And then we can add more, right, if we need to. We're getting real close. Can't go to the driver's side anymore very easy because you know we're snuck up against the door. Oh, it feels cooler, but I don't know anything. We're still at 81 degrees. So clearly, I don't know anything. And I know there's a better thermometer for this. 79. Oh, see, we're right where we need to be. So let's close this guy for now. So like my Dodge Diesel, that thing just doesn't cool when it's sitting there idling. You gotta be going down the road, getting air, moving over the condenser, fan pulling and such. I don't know. Every vehicle's different. But yeah, remember how I said our gauges, that's where they're supposed to be? Like those marks? I think we're ballpark. If only it would cool. You know what's cool? Living out here in Podunk, watching lightning. Right, Duff? Think we're going somewhere without you? What is that? Get it. He's like, I'm not a cat, dummy. Oh, you do play with that? No, you just want me to pet you. I could pet you. Who's I got puppers. Man, she's awful blue out there. Look at the wind. Just down to nothing, Duff. Our Happy Days flag. Oh, he's squirrel. Squirrel. Oh, there the flag come up a little bit. Ooh, that was a good lightning. Compressor's still running. Oh my gosh, so good. 68 degrees. I love it. 67. Let's see where our gauges are at. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. Just hook this up. And look at that. Gauges are freaking spot on those marks where they need to be. I am a genius!
I am the smartest man alive!
You wanna ask me how I did it? I didn't have that connector hooked up on the low side. That's how I'm an idiot. But I think I got her figured out. I'm pretty much the smartest person in this building right now. The stuff's outside, but I'm the only one in here. All right, I'm gonna go celebrate with another sandwich. This is how I charge AC, by trial and error, just winging it. You hook up your high side and your low side. You gotta make sure you've got them connected right, and then you pull a vacuum with both of them open, you close it, close that off, go have a sandwich, come back, make sure you still got a vacuum, because you don't want to be filling it up, putting Freon in there, it's all gonna leak out. Obviously this one's got a small leak and it leaked out, but who knows, maybe it hasn't been charged since 1996 when it was built. Maybe it was built in 97. And then you hook that up to your keg, and then you open everything up. You have your keg upside down, open your keg up, you fire it up. Let it run until the gauges get to those spots, to about 225 on the high side and 30 on the low side. No idea what those mean, but we're cooling like a champ. See if we're down to like 60 degrees. And sometimes if you gotta bypass a low pressure switch or a high pressure switch. Oh man, freeze you out of here. What do we got? 62.4 degrees. Money in the bank. All right, there you have it, kids. How to not charge your air conditioning system via Mortske and the Duff. Second channel stuff. That's what we should call it. That's what we should have called the channel, but it's a mouthful. Mortske and Duff, second channel stuff. It's too late, my brain's not working. Thanks so much for watching. Let us know what you want to see on this second channel. It's more for the random stuff that we need to do so we can go pick up junk, so we don't gold bond ourselves to death, and you know, just maintenance around the yard. Shorter videos, easier to make videos, easier to edit videos, easier for me to shoot videos. Videos that you probably all hate. So let us know what you want to see. Do you want to see us how to redo a vinyl top? Good, because we're not going to have any of that. Do you want to see us troubleshoot AC, like an AC that doesn't work? We could do another AC. Guess what? That thing's got AC, doesn't work. I want it to work. The 92's got AC that doesn't work, that I want to work. We gotta install vintage air on the 71. Not that 71, the Ochre 71. So let me know. Also, when you're listening to vacuum pumps for an extended period of time and the air compressor in the background, wear your ear protection. Probably should have eye protection when you're doing this, hand protection. We got steel toes on. Seriously though. Safety shoes, steel toes. All right, now you rambled on forever. Thank you very much for watching. Check out other videos. Like, share, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Go check out the Mortske merch on the link below. AC condition days, get yourself the next level tee. Get it one size bigger. I'm sorry, that's just what you gotta do. You will really appreciate it, just as much as I appreciate you guys. Remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, so long as you're having fun. This was kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed actually making this video. I was pretty frustrated for a while, not gonna lie. See you next time.